Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GiantBomb.com. I'm Ryan Davis. We have an exciting world-exclusive announcement here today. Joining me on the couch, Mr. Adam Boyes from Beefy Media.
Hello.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Ryan. How are you?
Jeff Gershman, you're here as well.
World exclusive.
World exclusive.
World global.
World.
We're going to need like a graphics package.
Fire right out here.
It's going to be a globe spinning, and then there's fire in some part of it, and then the fire spreads, and then the globe explodes.
Airplane landing in San Francisco.
And then like that kind of cool lady voice goes, world exclusive.
Yeah.
That disaffected kind
That's
of.
the wrong.
You know what? Adam didn't give us enough time to build our proper promo package.
Or animated flames.
It was like either you guys do it today, or I'm getting Jeff Keighley on the phone and going to the VGAs.
Walk on.
So we had to quickly
for VGAs.
yeah.
So since you didn't get the VGA love, you've come to the next best source. You've come to Giant Bomb to announce this project.
Absolutely.
Now, I guess before we get into this, you want to talk a little bit about your involvement in what this is?
Yeah. So the team behind the game that you guys are going to see today is Might and Delight.
Right.
And they were the guys that spun out a Grin about, they started about 18 months ago, right? About a month after I started Beefy Media. And it was 7 of the 11 guys from the Biden Commander Rearm team. And so basically,
So to be clear
it's
here,
the bulk of the rearm team.
bulk of the
it seems
rearm
like
team.
So there was a while there that there were kind of some different people saying like, "We're the Bionic Commander rearm guys."
Well,
we're the Bionic.
Yeah, there's key guys from the Bionic Command team, like Simon Viklund is not part of Might and Delight, but he was a major contributor, obviously, to the original.
Yeah.
So he's a good friend of the team and stuff like that, but he's working with Bonolf.
Right.
So he's not part of this team, but
Right.
A lot of the other crew is the producer, technology guy, and stuff like that. So, so when I was over in Sweden, I spent a ton of time, obviously, on Bionic Commando, the full game,
Right.
and sat with these guys every day. And so when they spun out to start their own company, I was like, hey, why don't I come along for the ride and try and help you guys out in sort of advisory role? And then it sort of changed and transitioned, and now I'm part of the team. I'm officially a part of Might and Delight.
fantastic. So you are cleared then to make this announcement, this reveal.
Approved. I didn't need to go through any PR shenanigans.
Now, did they split it up? Are there some people that are more Might than Delight, and some people are more Delight than Might? Like,
No,
where do you
there's
fall?
two sides of the office.
Yeah, it's like they have tape down the middle. It's like, you're on team
Three's
Might.
Company style.
Yeah.
It's either your
arm
Might.
wrestles. It's arm wrestles, and then instead of slam poetry, it's complimentary poetry.
Okay.
So whoever wins the
Sounds
most,
Yeah.
arm wrestle. But then you can really compliment the other guy with poetry.
God, we really need to go to Sweden sometime.
Yeah,
Jeff.
this sounds
Well,
like
honestly,
it's more than just bad candy, as I understand it.
That's
All right.
just the tip of the iceberg.
Well, let's show the trailer.
Yeah.
If you want to do any sort of setup here, Adam, before we reveal it.
Yeah, I mean, the guys have been working for 18 months on this, and I'll let the trailer do the talking, then we can talk about it afterwards.
All right.
Okay.
You want to reveal the name here?
Let's do the trailer.
Let's do the
right?
trailer.
All right. Let's watch the trailer for the next
I'm
game
not
from
even sure what the
Might
name
and Delight.
is.
There you go.
Take it away. All right, so that's PID.
That is PID.
From Might and Delight.
Yes.
A platformer with obviously some interesting gameplay mechanics in it. You want to talk a little bit about some of that stuff and kind of the process there?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the big goal that we had with the game was really to take the old school platforming aesthetic. I mean, for the first year of this project, they just worked on the controls, and that was it. I mean, it sounds like a long time, but the team is so passionate about making things feel so buttery smooth. So
that's one of the things about Rearmed that really made it work. Was the controls? So I guess it makes sense that would be such a focus for those guys, especially.
Yeah, from like jump distance to exactly how far you should throw things. I mean, it was really important for them to nail that. And then obviously the mechanic that they built around it was really this ability to change the rules of the world, like whether it's being able to float, repel, pull things, push things. And so the story is that you're this boy on a galactic bus just going to school like every other day. You fall asleep and you get beamed down to this planet randomly. And so it's your job to sort of figure out, your main goal is to get home and have a nice warm dinner with your parents. But along the way, you discover that this planet that you've landed on has a bunch of interesting, strange problems that you have to sort of solve as you go through it. So.
Whimsical robots is what I get from it.
Whimsical robots, that is correct. But they're angry, too.
Yeah.
They're assortedly
but
programmed
they're
to
whimsically
destroy.
angry.
Yeah.
They're not like...
There's a whimsy to the anger.
I've seen way angrier robots, Adam. That's all I'm saying.
They're not laser eye you in the face and split your head open. Angry.
No, they are not.
Look, they're just hanging out. They were. I mean, they
just
basically
bumming around.
These guys were basically like union workers until you showed up on the planet. I mean, they were just stone cold chilling, having their lunchbox lunches, and then you show up, and all of a sudden they have to get put to work. So yeah.
So it seems like there's not just platforming. There's like these mechanics of these kind of gravity wells or whatever you want to call these things that you're creating.
Levitators or
right. You're creating. You're solving puzzles. You're using it for combat as well.
Yeah.
Is that like the ability? It seems like he could do some basic jumping.
There's actually a lot of abilities that you sort of unlock throughout the game, and we'll be talking about a lot of that stuff sort of down the road. But right now, you see the little sort of gem that he throws, and it basically changes the world, whether it repels things or allows you to levitate or sort of anti-gravity, stuff like that. So, the one thing that when you look at the game, you have to really understand is that a lot of games they have puzzle platforming. It's the same sort of beat every level. It's going to be the same kind of pacing. But we really want to throttle the pace in the game a lot. So there's going to be a lot of sort of areas where you do puzzling for a bit, and it's sort of like you scratch your brain to how you're going to get through this part. A lot of parts that are really action-oriented, but the rhythmic sort of nature of like, what am I going to do here? And, the guys worked really hard to make it. It is... despite its look, it's a core platformer. I mean, it's going to be really difficult at times.
It kind of like something about the style of it sort of reminds me of Klonoa, the Namco's Klonoa games. It's got that kind of cool, kind of cartoonish look to it, but without going
not overly cutesy.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like not overly cutesy.
I also noticed there's little co-op footage in here as well.
Yep.
I have to imagine that changes the dynamic.
Remarkably. It almost becomes a fighting game. So basically, when you're playing single player, you have the ability to drop down 2 of these gems that change sort of the world. When you're playing co-op, you each have 1.
Okay.
So let's say you're both hovering in a beam. Yeah. One of you that through that beam can cancel it.
Oh,
so you can grief. The griefing ability. We've played this for hours and hours on end, griefing each other so badly, and it's just so much fun. Or of course, you could just slap the guy in the arm and finish it together. Like, why don't you just help me with this? So that's a perfect example. Some of these scenes that you see where I could cancel it out and screw the other person over. But it depends who you're playing with. If you're playing with your brother-in-law that you really don't like, then you cancel the beam. If you're playing with your little cousin, then
you play nice.
Yeah.
We've got intern Perry's manning the chat, looking for any sort of questions that they might have. Adam, are you ready for questions from the general public?
As long as they're in Swedish.
Okay.
All right.
Swedish
only, Perry.
So as our Swedish intern, Perry, go ahead.
Okay, I'm translating this into English for you guys. This is written in Swedish.
Got it.
We'll take your word for it.
CBK486 wants to know who did the soundtrack for this game?
Soundtrack.
The soundtrack was done by one of the guys actually that we had contracted on the team. So they're a guy I don't know their name offhand. It's at the
It's
end
a
of the credits.
retro something here. It's
Yes, it's at the very end of the credits.
Yeah.
So it's not one of the Might and Delight core
There-
guys.
No, he's working with the team. He's going to be
Okay.
scoring the entire game.
Got it.
Yeah.
in that style. Is that indicative of what we can expect from the final game?
I think
Like
you're
that?
gonna thematically. You can see the visuals of the levels change a lot, and I think the music is gonna be representative of that. So some of it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be sometimes melancholy and sometimes really upbeat. You can tell too when at the sort of end of the trailer when he's walking up the hill, and it's gonna be a lot more melancholy there, and it's gonna be reflective of the sort of gameplay that's in that in those areas.
All right.
Perry, what else?
Bad News wants to know what platforms this is being released on.
Currently planned XBLA, PSN, PC. We don't have a publisher right now, so that's gonna depend on where we go. But
That's where you'd like to go.
That's where we'd like to go. We'd like to be on all
Everywhere is what you're
platforms.
saying. You want to be everywhere.
Yes.
So if you're a video game publisher and you've got a slot, give Adam Boys here a ring.
Email us right in this number below. You can click on it in the YouTube.
We are
link
taking
now.
your calls.
Shameless.
We actually have talked to a bunch of publishers already, and then we're sort of self-funding it. So we're like, let's go and make it, and then make sure that the creative vision of the game is sort of stuck to. I mean, we look at Greg and the guys at Supergiant Games with Bastion. We really
Right.
appreciate the way that they went about it.
Yeah.
And
It seems like it's so much easier to sell something. So I mean, you were working in development at Capcom for a number of years,
Yep.
and so you had been on the opposite end of pretty much this situation.
Twisted Pixel played it. I mean, from
a
Explosion
number of
Man
times
to Limbo.
of companies coming to you and saying, hey, we have something, or people saying, hey, Resident Evil and pinball. Why don't you let me make that for
I'll
you?
make that, and then pay me, and then give me royalties
to make
for
this
the idea
thing.
that was clearly already.
That I
going to
just wrote
happen.
down on this piece of paper.
Pick genre, pick IP.
So you've been pitched. You've had someone come to you with this sort of thing. Like, how's the experience been? Kind of being on the other side of that.
Well, you kind of know it's like using the power for good instead of evil.
Right.
No, it's interesting because when you're across the table from Mike and Josh from Twisted Pixel, from Dino from Playdead, you see their game, you see the passion they've poured into it, and you're just like, I really want to sign this. Like, I really want to make this work. And unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't work sort of with the upper management. But you're like, if you guys just had enough money to do it yourself, then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Right.
And that's sort of, we figured out a way to sort of be in that situation, which is really optimal because then it's really the indie gamers, the indie developers allowing them to do what they want to do, right? Which is key. I mean, no bosses.
Yeah, and that's got to be pretty attractive for publishers in some sense to be like, hey, here's this finished game. All you have to do is kind of take it the last 10% through submission or whatever and get it out.
That
right?
final sprint.
Well, yeah, it's also, I think, like the scenario where you really want to get with that hot chick in high school, and then she's having none of you, but as soon as you're dating the other hot chick, she's like, oh, yeah, let's hang out. So the conversation, as soon as we're like, oh, we're fine, we don't need to worry about a publisher yet, it changed. They're all like, well, you call me? Can you call me?
Right.
Can we talk? It's a great process. I mean, I'm good friends with a lot of publishers out there, so it's it's a good conversation to have, and they're excited about the product. So we'll see.
Perry, any other questions?
Rampage Assassin wants to know the art style is nothing like nothing I've seen before. How did you come up with it?
That would absolutely be a
Adam,
question for the
how
team.
did you
how do
come
I
up with
personally
the-
draw that?
Yeah.
Actually, Jacob is our art director and creative director behind it. He's the guy that also edited the video for the last Eye Bleeding, Jacob Tukton. And he's an amazing guy. He's the same guy actually that did the Bionic Commando Rearmed trailer. You guys remember that trailer?
Yeah.
So he's an incredibly amazing, talented artist who came with the concept arts. Actually, when we announce the game officially tomorrow, we're going to have a bunch of concept art that people can see how the original concept came to be this. It's just in his mind, and I love it. I think it really it definitely separates itself from a lot of products out there.
Yeah.
So expect more information along with this
ton
trailer tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be sending everything out into the ether, and you will have concept art, we'll have screenshots, a lot more information about the game. So, yeah, very excited.
What can you say about the tech side of it? Is it using what kind
Unity.
of engine? Oh,
We
it's
use
Unity. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Unity, for sure. Yeah, we're pushing limits. There hasn't been a ton of games released on Unity yet on XBLA PSN.
Right.
But we're working very closely hand in hand with those guys, and they've been great, super supportive, and it's really easy to get up and running on it and cheap, which is good.
Cool.
So when's it coming out, and is there multiplayer?
Is there multiplayer? It's in the video.
Is Jeff
That's why I put
Bridges
it in
right
the
there?
video. Yes.
Yeah, will
Can
Jeff
you make
Bridges-
love to Tron songs in it?
Fantastic.
Not yet, but
Release date, I see you have 2012 listed on there.
2012. I would say the back half of 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But we'll definitely want to be playable at a bunch of the upcoming shows. We're going to be going for a lot of the indie fests and stuff like that. So hopefully, if you guys come out to shows, then you can put your hands on it. That's I think, if you like the visuals, then I think you'll love the way it feels.
Cool.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it's PID from Might and Delight.
Yep.
Coming out in 2012. Attaboys from Beef Media. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming
Ryan.
and giving us a show.
Appreciate it. Awesome, guys.
And with that, we will see you guys later.
Yeah.